It's already the final month of a dreary year, but that's okay because today we'll be talking about dongles and we'll be having a three-way between them. That's right, I'm going to talk a lot about the most popular dongles in the market at the moment. The fight is on between the luxury and precision W2, Lotoo Port S2 and the Colorfly CDA M1. Now starting off with the luxury and precision W2. The W2 is right up there as one of the pinnacles in the portable audio game, and for good reason. It features a black anodized aluminum chassis that has a glass-clad display on the front, while the back features a carbon fiber S design. The strong lines on the W2 is rather pleasing to the eye, which is, like how the iPhone, I think 11 went to the iPhone 12. The new chiseled design is, my cup of tea. It also features a volume control as well as a function button for you to access its features. Now internally, the W2 uses not one but two Cirrus Logic CS43198 DAC. Nothing much was said about its amplification, but we know that it outputs a very respectable 230 mWh per channel at 32 ohms on the balanced 4.4, while the 3.5mm pushes out 125 mW, more than enough for most IEMs. DSP-wise, a high gate count FPGA chip is used for sound shaping on the W2. The W2 is also able to handle 256 DSD as well. Various EQ settings are also on board as well, including profiles for rock, pop, jazz, and all that good stuff. There are also profiles for some IEMs included, such as the Zalento, the Shure SE846. You are also able to change the various filters on the W2 as well, including a low latency roll-off, quick roll-off, slow roll-off, all that good stuff. Now moving on to Lotoo Port S2. The Lotoo Portable Audio Workstation S2, or Port S2 for short, is the other dongle that is duking it out with the W2 this year. It too features a black anodized aluminum chassis that looks vastly different from the W2. The S2 is quite a bit rounder. For those of you with a sharp eye, you would already have noticed that it features a grand total of one more button than the W2. One new feature on the S2 is its ability to control your music via the dongle directly. This additional button allows you to play, pause, forward, back your track even without looking on the phone. Honestly, this is perfect for me because I hate turning my phone on just to change tracks. I just like to press the button and everything changes, right? Apart from that, the S2 has a direct volume control and a function button to change the modes as well. Internally, the S2 has the tried and true Asahi Kasei AKM4377 DAC, analog devices Blackfin DSP, as well as the AK8142 clock, which allows the Port S2 to reduce jitter and to render more details more precisely. Lotoo's great EQ settings are also on the Port S2 for those of you who like to tinker, including profiles such as rock, pop, dance, and all that good stuff. Generally, I like Lotoo's implementation on EQ, although I'm not a fan of EQ. I don't use it all the time, but for those of you who like this sort of stuff, it is there and it's of really good quality. The S2 is able to decode up to 128 DSD, PCM, play 2-bit, 384 kHz, and for those of you who enjoy Tidal, 4x MQA is also available. Power-wise, the S2 outputs to 150 mW per channel at 32 ohms on the 4.4 connector, while the 3.5 delivers 125 mWh. And moving on to the last of the dongle for comparison is the Colorfly CDA M1. The Colorfly CDA M1 is priced the most affordable in this list, but do not discount it, even when comparing it to flagships such as the ones from Luxury and Precision and Lotoo. Build quality is generally pretty good. It's not done to the same extent as the W2 or S2. It also features an anodized aluminum chassis, but for some reason does not feel as sturdy in the hand. It is a little bit lighter overall. It does not have any display and lack any selectable EQ features or any filters or what have you. It's just very basic. Just plug it in, it's a DAC, and it plays. Physical controls, it only has a volume up and volume down button on it. Now, this is where I find the Colorfly to be extremely interesting. It actually has quite a unique component inside it. The DAC that it uses is a deep custom ESS DAC. I really applaud Colorfly for doing this because it's not taking something off the shelf. It's actually created something original with ESS, and mated to this is a Ricore RT6863 op-amp for amplification. Now moving on to sound, let me just start off first with the Luxury and Precision W2. Basically, it has two modes on their signature DSP. Which you prefer is really up to your preference. These two tones does not affect the overall tone of the W2, it just adds a slightly different style to how it renders tone. Now starting off with tone 1. I find the best way to describe the mode is a gentle, slightly less contrasty tone of the W2. It renders music without a hard edge, transients is fast but not as brisk as tone 2. Tone 2 is the counterpoint to tone 1. It is more contrasty in terms of presentation, voicing have more of an edge and some eagerness as well. With that said, let's go into the frequency bands. Now bass on the W2 has amazing resolution. On the W2, it hits very thick and very fast. Texture is also very well-rounded on the W2. There is a very natural decay on the W2 with regards to bass. In terms of mid-range, details level on the W2 again is truly astounding for a dongle. It pretty much sounds like a mid-range DAP. Vocals sound full with just a touch of warmth. I personally feel that this touch of warmth shines through and it's able to translate a lot of the emotional energy to the listener. Separation between the mid-range voicings is also lovely, especially when there are numerous instruments going on concurrently, vying for space in the mid-range. I was actually just listening to some orchestral work and was staggered by how spaciousness the sound actually sounds. Treble-wise, the extension of the W2 is also excellent. It does sound a bit round on the top, just a hair for that sweet euphoric sound. Hi-hat and crashes are crisp, while the glockenspiels has a very nice resonant halation around it. Staging on the W2 is another class DAC. I would say that it ranks very highly in terms of width and height, depth and positioning is also very precise. I would actually liken this to be a very well acoustically treated concert hall. The W2, if personified, would be a girl that is a true go-getter and will go all out to impress. Next, moving on to the sound qualities of the Lotoo Paul S2. The S2 has the tried and true classic Lotoo signature, fast, clean, dynamic. The S2 also delivers a rather neutral presentation. I tried the S2 with a variety of IEMs from single dynamic drivers, pure BAs and hybrids. It honestly has no trouble driving all these IEMs and to allow them to sound good with very good control. Bass on the S2 has good presence and hits with authority. It never at one point sounds smeary and has details in the bass frequencies that is done to a T. You can hear that the bass tones are very taut, tight and firm. Mid-range is natural. I find it particularly neutral with just a slight touch of warmth. It is also pretty spacious sounding. Timbre is organic, details are honestly also flabbergasting. Treble is airy, sparkling and has zero harshness. Staging on the S2 again is very good in terms of width and height. Separation and depth again is very well done. I would liken the Paul S2 to be that of an elegant lady enjoying her afternoon tea, basically with a character that is full of quiet determination. It renders music in a very classy manner as how it was intended to do so without much coloration. And lastly, sound qualities of the Colorfly CDA M1. Now the Colorfly CDA M1 is the real dark horse in this competition. It is priced quite a bit cheaper than the S2 or W2, but in terms of sound, I must honestly say that the Colorfly sounds very similar to the Luxury and Precision W2 Tone 2. Just putting it out there, I do not think that the Colorfly is better than the W2 or the S2 for that matter, although it sounds rather similar to the W2. But considering its price, it wins the award for being the best value. This is honestly a big compliment to the Colorfly, as cost is less than half of the S2 or W2. Now bass on it is punchy, fast with good resolution. It is full with a very quick nature. Resonance is also very organic. Mid-range wise is slightly elevated where the vocals sound a little bit more prominent. Details here is also good but not on par with the W2 or S2. Treble is not harsh or overbearing, but I do feel that the treble on the M1 is a little bit drier as the resonance fade a bit quicker. Soundstage again is great on the M1. So here comes the juicy bit, direct sound comparisons. So basically because the CDA M1 sounds very similar to the W2 with Tone 2, just treat it as 15% less good as the W2. So with that in mind, whatever said to the W2 applies to the CDA M1 as well. In terms of bass, the Lotoo is more plentiful and voluminous. It is also particularly fast sounding, but not as fast as Luxury and Precision. The Luxury and Precision has a better punch and is more nimble sounding than the S2. Details wise, I think the two are honestly very similar. Decay is just a hair slower on the S2 compared to the Mercurial W2. Mid-range, both the W2 and S2 has very similar level of details, which is honestly staggering. The story here is that in terms of tone, the W2 again is very sprightly and focused. The Lotoo Pro S2 on the other hand takes a more natural approach where there is a bit more organic decay. Treble between the two, I have to be honest, they are actually very similar. Both have excellent detail, fast and not eardrum scraping. So this is the important question. Which is best? Honestly, in terms of sound, touching my heart, I prefer the luxury and precision W2. It is sprightly with its go-getter attitude. It's something that resonates very well with me. But, and this is a big but, I honestly use the Lotoo Pro S2 more often because of the additional button to control my music without unlocking my phone. If you already own the W2, should you get the S2? I have to be frank, no. They are very close, to be honest. Coming from the W2, you'll notice that the S2 has more volume when it comes to bass and vocals sound a bit more organic. Soundstage and detail-wise, they are pretty much neck and neck. If you have the S2 and are curious about the W2, likewise, you'll notice that the bass and vocals of the W2 is just a little bit more responsive. Whichever you choose, it is truly a matter of preference. A very special shout out to the Colorfly. Yes, it does not perform to the same demanding levels of the W2 or S2, but at half the price of the W2 or S2, that only having a 15% delta compared to them, I'd say it's a great deal. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's episode of the major comparison of the top 3 dongles this year. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is actually a really long video, even by my standards, and I'm actually very tired talking about it already, but for you guys, I'd do anything. I'm just basically a screen monkey at the moment, so you know, right? You know that, right?
Dance, monkey dance.
And yeah, so with that said, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway yet again. All you have to do is just like and subscribe. So if you like the content so far, please kindly press the like and subscribe button right here down below. Don't waste any moment, just smash that like button and press the bell icon.
You can smash something else as well as the festive season.
Not me.
Yes, not him, I guess.
Not me.
Well, unless you're eligible girl between the ages of 25 years old to 90 years old, because I'm sure Kenneth doesn't mind that sort of thing. But
I do. But anyways, with that said, the bloody producer opened her mouth and said something this time around. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to do a bit more videos. It's just that lately has been a bit, well, I would say a bit. It's really hectic at the workplace, so I try my best. Maybe a bit was an understatement, but with that said, really appreciate it. Alright, thank you guys. See you. Bye-bye.